welcome back to game number 2 of tonight's Xenotactic Duo Clan Championships. We are now on Wrangle 2.0 with a southern to northern flight path starting off at Nova Repnoi and ending up at Zaki in the top left corner. We are with team number 4, definitely hallowed Revolt and Buff to begin with. So let's see who the first teams are to jump, and it is team 42. And that is made up of Grassroots, Xander and Ascend. And they have dropped alongside team 26, RPG with Luigi and Lola. And then we have a huge selection of teams jumping in the centre of the flight path, near to Pachinki, Rozhok and School. And then a couple of teams appear to be going up north to Seveny. And Nyx of team 50 are the first to get a knock, with a Zen Rider going down. And Vape Denny is now pushing towards team 45, and that is another kill for Vape Denny and Nyx. And let's go over briefly to team 48, where we find Neo and Alex of Zen, as they have landed at 70 with team 7, made up of Thor and Angel, and team number 4, definitely hallowed Revolt and Buff. And Riot Mystic has just got a knock on Zen Wilo, as Riot Ghost has been taken down, and they are at the school. And Sneak has just taken down Vape Denny. And Loz has been knocked too. And that is ZPX Ant-Man coming in and getting the finish on Denny there. And that is Loz finished off, and Sneak almost losing around 75% health. Now, Sneak has thrown 2 grenades, all to the same location, but the unfortunate factor is that Nyx is to the left side of those grenade shots. So as long as Sneak keeps throwing them there, Nyx is perfectly safe. Now, not only do we have Sneak and Nyx in the Rossock area, but we also have Team 32, which is PDX Subi and ZPX Ant-Man, and Team 36, which is the Gen team made up of Gen 1 Pound Fish and Tequila. And we are now seeing Xena and Diva going up against Nemris and Mortal. We have Nemris knocked at the moment by Xena, with Diva just rotating around and going inside the building. We have Diva looking the other way. It looks as though she may have spotted V-Man. And V-Man has now chosen to rotate around the other side. Diva is following suit. And that is the end of Nemris, with Xena getting the kill for that. And V-Man still struggling to decide what way to go around, either rotating left or right. Well, look as though Xena and Diva have both sides covered, so regardless, V-Man is in a little bit of trouble when they decide to move next. Here we go, V-Man is taken down by Riot Diva and the UMP. And now let's look at the zone as it moves south. And that will then mean that players coming from Seveny, Storber and Georgia Pole, as well as some at Roshawk, will need to just be wary of the teams in front of them, as they may come up against a bullet wall as they try and make their entrance into the next zone. And now you have Penn going up against RPG. Now let's have a quick look at Luigi as they come up against Team 41, Pencons and Devious. And it looks as though RPG Luigi now has made the decision to go for placement as a result of losing Lola. So that may be the most logical thing for them to do, just to try and stay away from the main fights and just try and make their way into zone.
Don't get back. You should go. Get on a car. Run.
And I totally agree.
Move zigzag with a car. Who's the fuck is Snake in a fucking blue zone? Just run, keep running.
Now Luigi is in zone, so this is where the important question will come in. Do they want to just try and find somewhere to camp for a little while, or do they want to try and get to a good vantage point and then start firing upon Team 41? And unfortunately not, and that is the end with Pencons getting the finish with M4. And inside the airdrop we have an MK14 and an M249. And now we have Sons of Odin, Deadpool and Moonin up by Storber. And we have some action down at the bridge. So let's watch Ninja Pizza. And the vehicle has just been exploded next to Xenotactic. They do have another one, so they do have an option to get away if they need to. We've got Sneak over at 265. We have Xenotactic now moving the vehicle. Oh, and here we see the next zone. And it has moved south again, cutting off the majority of the main island. So we could realistically be looking at either a C finish, which I've not seen before, or it could be a military island finish. And here we go, so we now have a military island finish, right down the southern end. We have Team 35 Gen coming over by water. Looks as though Team 24 ZPX could be following suit. We have a few teams dotted across the bridge, so let's look at Riot Mystic, who was just hiding inside a truck. And here we go, a Jeep is coming through. And that is the ZPX team of Team 43. And unfortunately for Mystic, he just wasn't able to get that finish. Wow, and Mystic has got the knock on ZPX and is now racing in by Dacia to try and get that finish. And level 1 Bunny's just taken down Sons of Odin Moonin. And the play zone takes down Lance. And here we go, so the zone has changed again. And there are now no main compounds in play. There may be a couple of odd sheds near the general area, but a lot of this is now going to be open terrain. So this is where the people will really need to focus on the smoke grenades and the general strategy that they want to play with. We could now be seeing a few splits, possibly the 1-1, which would only be the 1-1 considering we're duos. So we should be seeing some 1-1 splits very shortly. And we now have ZPX getting a knock, as is Pen Con with a grenade. Now we still have Sneak of Teammate to come in. And Sneak is just about to get onto the motorbike and make his way in. The last player to make it to the zone. We've got New Punch's Destroyer now swimming in. We've got Sneak coming in by motorbike. And that is Destroyer finished off there by explosion. So it looks as though he was trying to come in by boat. Sneak is now in and is going straight for Grassroots, Team 42. But then takes a right detour and is now going towards Team 41 Pen and Team 10 from the Rodin. And that is the end of Sneak being finished off by Pen Cons, who in turn is knocked by Demon. And Jacko is now thrown a smoke. Reason for this is that they are stuck on the coast at the moment and they need to get into the next zone. They do have Team 33 behind them and they have Team 42 Grassroots up ahead, Team 41 Pen to the left hand side, as well as level 1 Bunny of Team 29. So they will really need to preserve their smoke and use them when they really have to, just to assist them in getting into the next zone. And Sonderwood and Jacko is being fired at by Grassroots Xander, who in turn is also being fired at and is almost knocked. And that is Jacko finished off there. And that is by ZPX Psycho. Hill Skeleton is now in the water and appears to be being shot at by Team 33. Skeleton is stuck at the moment, not being able to get up the rock side. Now we have ZPX going up against Penn of Team 41, with Groot being knocked. Florent has just been taken down by Grassroots. And here come the smokes, courtesy of Nash. And in around 30 seconds, we will see Hill Skeleton massively challenged by the blue zone. It looks as though it is going to be impossible for them to get up that rock face. So it'll just be whether they can find a spot to keep using first aid kits and boosts, or whether they want to risk swimming outside of the zone and swimming around to an alternative area where they will be able to climb up and get back onto land. Now Pendevious has been taken down by PDX Subi, and Pendevious finished off there by ZPX Ant-Man. Pencons is low on health as is. And there we go, as I mentioned, Hill Skeleton is now being challenged by the zone, struggling to get to somewhere where a first aid kit can be used. And there we have, the first aid kit has been applied, and here comes the zone. Bandages are now being used. But it looks as though the zone is just doing too much damage and the bandages are not really helping at all. And then we see ZPX Nash getting a knock on Ant-Man, and Pencons finishing off ZPX Nash and Psycho. And there we have the play zone finishing off Hill Skeleton. And now we have Pencons Team 41 going up against Grassroots Xander and Ascend for the finish. Oh, and Pencons has been hit by Xander. And that is the end of game number 2. And in first place with 6 kills is Grassroots. In second is Penn with 10 kills. In third is Sons of Odin with 2. In fourth is ZPX with 7. In fifth is ZPX and PDX with 6. In sixth is ZPX with none. In 7 is Level 1 with 2. In 8th is Loz and Sneak with 4. In 9th is Noob Hunters with 4. In 10th is Zen with 4. And in 11th is ZPX with 2. If you have enjoyed the stream, please follow the channel for new content. We will be back in just a moment for the final game in tonight's scrims, game number 3. This is the Xenotactic Duo Clan Championships. I am Abs, and we will be right back.